Hi everybody, this is Lara with your daily update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. I'm going to make this short today because I'm not very well. I want to look at a little bit of psychology with you, and I just want to, so simple, I just want to remind you that when prices are high, greed will dominate here and here and here and here. Greed will be dominant when prices are low here and here and here. And at these lows, fear will be dominant. When greed is dominant, people don't sell, they want to hold on because they expect price is going to keep going up. When fear is dominant, people don't buy because they expect prices to continue going down. So they don't buy when prices are low, they don't sell when prices are high, they do the opposite because of fear and greed. I've taken the fear and greed index, a chart of that, here it is. Here, and I've overlaid it over Bitcoin. This is as far back as the data I've searched I can get, and it's only going to go back to just before this high. When prices are high here, greed is dominant. When prices are low here, fear is dominant. As prices rise in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step up pattern, the basic Elliott Wave pattern, fear and greed follows exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when prices are high, greed is dominant. And then price falls and fear is dominant. So fear and greed follows prices. When price goes up, greed gets stronger. When price goes down, fear gets stronger. When prices are low, as they relatively are, currently fear is more dominant. At the moment, fear is ever so slightly dominant. It's 47. It was just a little bit higher during the weekend. But overall, you get the idea. People are going to do the opposite of what they should do to make money because of fear and greed. On the weekly chart, last week completed a doji with a long upper wick. Price found resistance quite strongly at 27,400. I keep saying, don't expect price to move in a straight line. I expect this low is more likely than not, the low of 11th of September 2023, to be intact. I expect price to move up, but look for consolidations and pullbacks at areas of resistance. On the daily chart, this trend line is important from this high here, 12th of July, to these highs here, 8th of August, 9th of August, draw this resistance line. That's where price is finding resistance at about 27,400. Unsurprising, we're getting a little pullback. Volume for yesterday's session is pushing price lower. That doesn't mean price has to keep going down. Here, volume pushed price lower, and that was the low. Here, volume was pushing price lower. It tends to be strong at lows. So it doesn't tell us that the low is going to be found at yesterday's low, and it doesn't tell us that price can't go lower. I will look for a bullish candlestick reversal pattern to have confidence that this little pullback is complete. Until we see that, I'll expect that the short-term trend may remain the same until proven otherwise. There's a very weak resistance and support area here. For on-balance volume, a breakout would provide a very weak signal on the daily. No clear trend. DX line's a whipsawing, but ADX is now below 15. It's setting itself up for a strong trend signal. We may get that signal this week. I'll keep an eye on that one really carefully. Ethereum on the weekly chart. This trend line is still important. Draw it from the low from the week beginning 12th of June 2022 to the low of week beginning 20th of November 2022. This is the line that's providing support. Ethereum's daily analysis sees a second wave correction over here as a zigzag, where 2 ends, 3 begins. A third wave at multiple degrees is expected to be underway. A first wave over here, and I've got a second wave expanded flat over at today's low, and today may be forming a hammer candlestick pattern at support at the lower edge of that trend line I've shown you on the weekly chart. Weekly technicals for Ethereum, there's a dragonfly doji for the week beginning 10th of September. That suggests a trend change. We may have a sustained low in place down here. Look for resistance at 1716. Overall volume is declining as price moves sideways. ADX tells us at the weekly time frame there's no clear trend. Daily technicals for Ethereum, draw this resistance line from the session of 14th of July up to these sessions here, 13th and 14th of August. Extend that line on out. That's where price found resistance a few days ago. It's moving lower, and this current session may close as a hammer, so keep an eye on the 25th of September. If the lower wick of this current session is more than twice the length of the body of the candlestick, then that'll be a bullish reversal pattern, a hammer, and it's happening pretty close to support, about 1550. I want to see this trend line breached for Ethereum. I'll just extend that on out. I want to see this trend line breached and then a new high above 1745.02 to have confidence that the low of 11th of September remains intact. For now, I expect it's more likely than not that it is going to be sustained. A little bit of a push from volume for the bullish hammer candlestick pattern so far, and we've just passed midday, so that's looking good for a bullish case today for Ethereum. There's a very weak range on the on-balance volume for Ethereum. A break above the yellow resistance line or below the purple support line would give us a signal. It'll be a pretty weak signal though, because these lines aren't long held and only have 2 anchor points. For XRP on the weekly chart, I still expect that this low down here for week beginning of 13th of August is most likely to remain intact. Price is just moving sideways essentially since then. Some basing action, absolutely normal to be expected behaviour from a cryptocurrency. This is what they do around their lows. So if this low here is intact for XRP, this bearish movement subdivides perfectly as a double zigzag. It's contained in a channel that's really clearly breached by upward movement. The short-term question is this low of the 25th of September going to be the end of this small little pullback? Weekly technicals for XRP, a dragonfly doji a couple of weeks ago, along with this bullish long lower wick for week beginning 13th of August. This suggests that these lows may remain intact, at least for the short term. Look for resistance at 55 cents. The volume profile on the weekly is bullish. This adds some support to the view that those lows are going to remain sustained. ADX is declining, no clear trend. The daily view for XRP, draw this trend line from the high of 12th of July. To pull it down to this the top of this candlestick, 10th of September, to contain all of this bearish movement, to be quite conservative. It's so clearly breached by upward movement. The session for the 25th of September might also complete as a hammer again. When the session has closed, calculate the length of the body from the open to close, calculate the candlestick from the open to the low, the lower wick, and calculate to see if the lower wick is twice the length of the body. If it is twice the length or longer, then it's a bullish reversal pattern, a hammer. It's moving price lower. So far it's red though, so it's pushing price lower with an increase in volume, but it's not as strong as previous upward sessions, and this was very, very good to see last week from XRP. This still leaves the volume profile, at least for the short term, as bullish. There's a resistance line here for XRP. It doesn't have a support line for on-balance volume. I have to end it there because my voice is failing. Thank you so much for your support, your likes, your subscriptions and your comments. Help grow my YouTube channel, and I'll be updating every day, 5 days a week. So far, it looks like a little pullback is most likely going to end today or very, very soon for all of these three. I still expect for the short term they're going to be bullish, but don't expect them to move in a straight line. Look at those identified areas of resistance for consolidations and pullbacks along the way up.